Let's look at the top 5 flowering trees for the landscape. Number 5, the Liriodendron tulipifera, commonly known as the tulip tree or yellow poplar or tulip poplar. The variety is neither a tulip nor a poplar. Rather, it's a member of the Magnolia family, and its beautiful yellow-orange magnolia-like blooms make the point in the late spring. Because the flowers appear after the very attractive heart-to-wedge-shaped leaves, the flowers are shielded inside the canopy. The tulip tree grows fast to 70 feet with a narrow pyramidal canopy, and it's adapted to a wide range of soils and climates. Plant the tulip tree in good draining soils in zones 4 through 9 and expect a bright yellow, brilliant fall color display. If you're in the need of a wonderful shade tree and you have the room, the tulip tree grows with little care and pest and disease free. A wonderful flowering shade tree, the tulip tree is a great choice. Number 4, the Jane Magnolia. The Jane Magnolia is a wonderful deciduous magnolia introduced by the National Arboretum in the mid-1950s. Flowering 2 to 4 weeks later than other deciduous magnolias, the Jane Magnolia is able to beat the late freeze in areas prone to it. With a great shrubby habit, the Jane can be trained to a beautiful multi-trunk tree that grows to 10 to 15 feet tall in the landscape. The multi-trunk structure gives the tree a year-round appeal. Long-lasting reddish-purple blooms with a white interior and mild fragrance look spectacular in the late spring. The Jane Magnolia is hardy and is well adapted to both full sun and part shade locations. Provide a rich, well-drained soil and mulch out to 3 feet outside the canopy to keep roots cool in the summertime. Look forward to the yellow to copper tone fall color and enjoy the Jane Magnolia's artistic structure in the wintertime. A fine specimen flowering tree, the Jane Magnolia. Number 3, the Ivory silk lilac tree is a selection of the Chinese lilac tree. Prized for its later blooming, the Ivory silk lilac tree is able to avoid the damage from late freezes. The spectacular late spring display of creamy white dense clusters of blooms with the all-familiar lilac fragrance leave no wonder to this tree's tremendous appeal. The Ivory silk lilac prefers a full sun location but will tolerate brief periods of shade. Typically suited for climates with cooler summer temperatures, this plant does well in zones 3 through 7. With a height of 15 to 25 feet and a rounded canopy, plant the Ivory silk lilac as a specimen near a patio or as a street tree. Enjoy the attractive reddish-brown bark as it contrasts against the landscape after leaf drop. This low-maintenance tree has great pest and disease resistance. It's hard not to love the Ivory silk lilac. Number 2, the forest pansy redbud may be the most beautiful flowering tree one could plant. A selection of the Cercis canadensis, or eastern redbud, the forest pansy puts on a dazzling spring to fall display in the landscape. Beginning with the splendid purple-pink flowers in the spring that form on the irregular shaped limbs of this 20 to 30 foot tall open vase-shaped canopy, followed by a flush of purple-red heart-shaped leaves that shimmer in the spring sun, gradually fading to a purple-green throughout the remainder of the summer. This forest pansy is a fast-growing tree that wants good drainage and regular water, and for this reason it is the perfect lawn tree, patio tree, or planted in a small group to create a woodland effect. Widely adapted to many climates, the forest pansy benefits from good mulching and afternoon sun protection in the drier areas of zones 5 through 9. For one of the most spectacular flowering trees in the landscape, consider the forest pansy redbud. Number 1, Prunus subvertella autumnalis, or the autumn blooming cherry, is by far one of the most beautiful trees for the landscape. Both flower and form of this widely adapted flowering tree's most outstanding features. A mass of semi-double pink blooms in the spring with a bonus early fall blossom display that begets the name. With a top height of 30 feet, this wide-spreading tree with a perfectly rounded form is the ideal specimen tree in zones 4 through 8. Provide well-drained soil and a full to part sun location in the landscape, though the autumn blooming cherry is the most heat and cold tolerant of most of the flowering cherry varieties. To round off the year, the fall colors of coppery yellow make this a delightful season finale. The autumn blooming cherry has good disease and pest resistance and very low maintenance once established. Include a spot in your landscape for this outstanding flowering tree.